Sam from Lipstereo. Welcome back to Australian Musician.
Thanks for having me.
Last time we spoke was via Zoom, just after the release of your EP, Modern Mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also after the launch at the Toff in the Town, which was a great night. Since then, have you written or even recorded much material?
Yeah, we've been working on a lot of demos at the moment. So we've got a lot in the back catalogue that we're slowly working through. I think last time I mentioned trying to create cohesive stories with different collections of songs. So we've kind of figured that out, and we're just working through demos of one particular group of that, almost like a part two of what we were doing before.
What about live gigs? How often are you playing now?
Probably every couple of weeks at the moment, yeah. We've been playing, well, we've played quite a few places. Penny's Band Room, Workers Club, Catfish, yeah, everywhere under the sun. It's anywhere that will take us.
Yeah. As you're playing and recording more, do you feel it's becoming clearer as to what your musical direction is and how you want the band to sound into the future?
I think so, yeah. Particularly in the recording process, recording demos in particular, you're really able to define a sound. And now with the proper release that we've got, yeah, we're kind of moulding our sound. It's obviously not set in stone. It's healthy for artists to kind of change things throughout their career, and the best of them do. And the best of them can do that without being terrible when they change.
What kind of things did you learn from the recording of the EP that you might take into future recordings?
Time management is definitely the biggest thing in the studio that I picked up on in preparation. I remember one night I was working on some of the Mellotron tracks for Little Spaceships and being like, oh, I could have done this beforehand. So just managing the time better so we're able to maximise the amount of takes we're able to get for a guitar solo, for example, or for a bass track, those sorts of things, which are, when you've got a guitarist and a bassist who really want to get it right, you got to give them the maximum amount of opportunity to do that. And
when you are recording, do you record as a band or playing at the same time? Or?
We do, yeah. So the way we did the last one was we recorded it in a room all together, and then we did overdubs of any mistakes and those sorts of things. And we double tracked the guitars and the vocals. The vocals were fresh takes, not with those ones. But the drum takes, you can actually hear in stop, Tage from across the room yelling stop at the start of the song. So yeah, that's as live as you can get for those drum tracks.
We spoke about this last time on our Zoom chat, but I think it's worth mentioning again. You were playing quite a bit pre-pandemic, and then the lockdowns hit. How did you guys use that lockdown time, and how useful was it just being able to think about the music?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. It was very much a time of reflection. If we continued playing through, I think we would fall into some repetitive formula. So having that time allowed us to expand the horizons of the band a bit. The demos we did for the previous EP, they took a long time to do. We just were experimenting with all different kinds of things: organ sounds, bells, mellotrons, organs. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun figuring out what works with the music. Yeah.
One of the great things that you've done since we last spoke was a global live stream for the Let Me Help Children of the World charity. Tell me about that, how it came about and how did it go? Yeah,
it was a lot of fun to work on that. We ended up recording at Bakehouse Studios, 3 songs. Yeah, and we're slowly releasing them onto YouTube as well now, so you'll be able to see them very soon, yeah.
Just talk a little bit about your gear again. We covered that last time. You play a left-handed Les Paul.
Yeah.
Have you been eyeing off any new guitars or anything new in your pedal board?
I try and keep my eyes away from guitars. I spent too much on pedals recently for me to be looking at the amps or guitars or anything. I remember my card was declined for the first time, and it's just because I bought guitar pedals and books. It's yeah.
Yeah. Any new favourite pedal?
Yeah, true spring reverb. It's got this really nice spring reverb. Yeah.
Do you need to have a guitar in your hands to find songwriting inspiration, or can you find inspiration anywhere?
I actually find the best things I write are in the shower. It's really bizarre, and I can't spend 10 hours in the shower every day, but if I did, it would probably make my writing a lot quicker. I'm not particularly from starting the song from scratch, but if I've got developing an idea that I've already kind of got in my head, yeah, if I wake up and go in the shower, I'll just try and sing like a counter melody or something like that, and I can kind of build a song up from what it was originally. So a shower's really good for that.
You were doing short, sharp sets, half an hour or not much more. Are you starting to extend things, or is that just a...
Yeah, I might add one extra song to them. But yeah, we try and keep them short. Our drummer would probably die if we started playing like hour-long sets. He plays pretty loud and pretty fast.
You play the Ronettes cover Be My Baby. Are you working on any new covers?
Yeah. What is it? I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
All right.
We'll probably release that on YouTube maybe around Christmas time. Yeah, it's a fun one, and that's another one which you can kind of do up in a rock version that I don't think many people have thought about in that way before.
Are you into Christmas singles, Christmas albums?
You know what? I think we should bring them back. I know in the UK it was a thing like up to 10 years ago or so. But yeah, one of my favourite songs is "Don't Let the Bells End" by The Darkness. I think that's like classic hard rock, but it's a very funny Christmas song.
Do you still have time to go out and see other bands?
Yeah, we're able to see other bands. That's the beauty of being in Melbourne, is there's always something going on. Yeah.
Do you tend to mix with a lot of other new rock bands? Do you feel that there's a new rock scene emerging?
Yeah, I remember someone recorded our set and uploaded it online, and they said it's the scene that celebrates itself, like the 90s with Blur and that scene, because we all get around each other at the gigs. Yeah, it's a really supportive thing, and yeah, it's kind of unique, so it's pretty special.
What are some of the favourite Melbourne venues you like to go to?
Oh, favourite Melbourne? Just anywhere small. I like the Gasso. Yeah, Workers Club, or just the amount of bands that go through Workers, including us. Yeah, those sorts of venues I really like going to.
Yeah. What are some of the famous international venues you dream of playing one day?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have my eyes set on grandiose things like that. I don't know. Always think like Budokan. That's iconic for recording a live album there. I remember like we're playing that Cheap Trick album on repeat for so very long. In fact, that's probably the Cheap Trick album I know the best, live Budokan. Yeah, so Budokan, Lipstereo, those sorts of places that are steeped in rock and roll tradition. Yeah.
So what's coming up between now and the end of the year for Lipstereo?
Yeah, we'll be releasing probably a couple more songs from this benefit that we did. We recorded them at Bakehouse, and then we mixed them at 30mm Studios. So we'll start releasing those towards the end of the year. Besides that, we're just continually making social media content as well, particularly short form videos like Instagram Reels or TikTok or YouTube things. Those sorts of things we're doing, yeah.
If you had a 5-year business plan, like a business did, where would you like the band to be in 2027?
I don't like putting it in those terms. I'd probably put them in what type of music would I like to have released by then. Yeah, so I'd love to do this rock stuff that we're doing right now, but I'd also like to kind of get into some more advanced things, I guess, so like period pieces. Yeah, just being able to tell a story through multiple genres is something, it's probably the most ambitious thing that I want to kind of do in the space of music. And
a debut album, how far away is that, do you think?
I don't know. It really depends on what songs would be right for an album. So it could be a year from now, it could be 6 months, could be 2 years, who knows. Yeah.
Right, Sam, we look forward to what comes next for Lipstereo. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks, Greg.